Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another Wallpaper Creations. And before we get started, I want to apologize. I know I've been gone for a couple months, but because of school, work, and everything going on in my life, I had to take a break. I was getting stressed out, and but right now we are back, and I got a beautiful piece of work for you. We are going to be doing Spirit Blossom Kindred. And for those of you who don't know, Spirit Blossom Kindred is one of the skins in League of Legends, for Kindred, obviously, and it is personally my favorite rendition of Kindred. I think it's a very beautiful piece of work, and yeah, we'll talk more about it as we go into the video. There are some obvious things we can do today for this video. We have the eye right here, which is a beautiful piece of coloring, having a lighting effect there, lighting effects everywhere, around, especially on the tree line. We have this little fox we may do something with, and we also have the movement for Kindred, the water down here, and the leaves of and the trees and everything, all the fur and everything. This is gonna be a fun one to work on. Be very interesting to see what we can do with her arm and the bow, and see what kind of effects we can do with Wolf up here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So for those of you who don't know Kindred, Kindred is a very interesting character. One interesting thing about them is that they're actually from all over in League of Legends. The idea of Kindred is actually really interesting. They are basically the spirit of death, almost like the Grim Reaper for us. This is going to be real bright, so careful. But yes, these guys are actually the manifestation of death. What makes these guys interesting, though, is how they go about doing what they do. You see, Kindred is not just either wolf up here or lamb. It's actually the combination of the two. Yeah, so basically, the idea behind Kindred is that they are basically death incarnate in Legends, or the world of League of Legends. And basically, those who accept their death when they see Kindred will receive an arrow from big death from Kindred via her arrow. But those of them who wish to deny death and try to ward them off will have to face Wolf in a grueling hunt and make them wish that they were actually or accept Kindred's Lamb's arrow. I love the way the eye looks already. So another thing about Kindred that's actually very interesting is that every region other than the Shadow Isles has some type of tie with Kindred or some story. In this case, this is how Ionia views Kindred. So the base Kindred is how they are supposedly look like, but the other skins are how different regions look like Kindred. So very interesting. I look forward to how other regions will see Kindred. Next we will work on the bow, because that's gonna be like the hardest part. I just want to get the eye over with because it looks really nice. Just something nice to look at. One little thing I learned recently, because I wasn't just not working on wallpapers in my time off, I was actually looking up ways to do things. And so we will be working on just focusing on specific areas so we use up less memory and make it a little bit easier for some computers to run. Which, it's my whole idea. Like, I want everyone to have access to what I work on. So what I'm doing here, now everywhere I'm highlighting is the only thing I can be working on. Everything outside of it won't be affected. I know this may look a little tedious, but this is going to save some work in the long run. Now that if you notice, all the areas I highlighted are the only ones that are actually moving. So just doing this right now to showcase what I meant earlier. So now nothing in the background that I did not highlight is being moved. So it makes things a little bit easier, and hopefully we'll get everything set. Alright, now we do the detailing, and we're already set up with the arm. As you can see, I lowered the strength so the string is not like overlapping itself a little bit. So you can see it's happening just a little bit right here. or we can mitigate that. And honestly, it doesn't, you can't really tell too much, so we'll see how much I actually change. This is the hard part about working with thin lines, like her uh, string here on her bow. Okay, so some of you may realize, may have noticed this or may not have. But as you can see, even though this is highlighted from what's supposed to be moving, since I took it out in the opacity, this part of her clothing is not moving. So that's what I meant by it getting rid of some of the work I have to do. This is a quick little detail why I did what I did earlier. So a new technique that I learned, something really cool. It really helps out when you're trying to go into the more detail. Like even the little fox's ear right here, it's not moving, even though the bow is. So if you take a quick look, yeah. So that's gonna save some time on there. Next, we're gonna move on to her other arms. Back to that opacity, which is, you know, just highlight her arm over here. That's it. Now all this open area, which is undo, and then we're good to get started on this. Okay, so some of you might notice that since the string of her bow and her arm are going opposite directions, there's going to be a little disformation there, but unfortunately there's not going to be a whole lot we can do. I have to leave it. Overall, I'm really happy with how her arms are coming out. I'm going to be working on her, the fur in her arms right now. Use the same areas, just want to make sure they're moving in sync. Alright, overall I'm really liking how this is coming out. Her arms are doing really well. Yeah, I really do like it. Next we're going to be working on her head movement along with her hair. And then hopefully we might have like a breathing effect over here on her chest like we usually do on some characters. Alrighty, that actually looks really good so far. Using a little wave effects on her hair will mitigate any still movement it may look like that we're going to do later. So overall, I really do like how that's. Very close to what I'm looking for. What I'm trying to do is get his mouth to go open, like him grinning and him being menacing when he does this. I have an idea. Give this. That's very nice. I'm really liking how. Let's work on the eye next. I have an idea for this. For those of you who are big, so you can see what I'm doing. there's a fine line right here that's not being moved at all. So you can see it along here. So even though there are parts of these are overlapping each other, they're not showing in the final product. So that really saves a lot of effort and a lot of issues I had before in some other backgrounds, wallpapers, whatever. And this is how basically how it's coming out. And I really love this effect. Very menacing, very beautiful. Really looking like in this. Next, we're gonna try having Wolf's body going up and down. This is gonna be a little bit harder because we have him lining up with Kindred all around here, and we also have the trees on both ends, so his ears and over here. So we'll see what we can do. I also want to see if I get some type of twitching effect on one of his ears, like he's hearing something along those lines. Yeah, I think that'd be a nice effect to add. Alright, beautiful. We add everything all together, and so far we're doing a pretty darn good job, I think. Like I said before, I'm going to try and get the one of his ears to twitch a little bit. Probably this one right here. Real simple effect. Shouldn't be too hard. After that, we'll work on the surroundings, and we'll be just about done. Overall, I'm really happy how it's turning out. I guess the combination of the two just makes it a little offsetting, or maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Like I said, this is one of the new techniques I wanted to try. As you can see, the ear is twitching a little bit, but it's not moving the way I want it to, so we're just going to cut it out for now. In the comments below, if you like the ear twitch, you think I should try adding it for updating it later on, because I do update my wallpapers every now and then. Let me know in the comments, because, you know, I think it's a cool idea, but right now I do like the way he looks. I like the way Wolf and Lamb are working together right now. In this image as a whole, but for now we're going to be working on Lamb's hair and the fur here on Wolf as well. If you're wondering why I'm not doing all of Wolf's body, it's because he doesn't have a whole lot of loose hair. Most, at least short-haired dogs that I know, or at least the hair where it's shorter, it really doesn't move much of wind. So like his goatee will move, the hair underneath his neck and parts of it over here on his ears will move. But everything else is pretty stagnant. I think I want to try to be as accurate as I can with that. Back and overall, really nice. I think I'll work on the water down here next. Then we'll work on the leaves. Or we might just leave the trees as is. We'll have some lighting effects and wind, and that'll be about it. Alrighty, looks like we're just going to be working on the lighting effects on the surroundings, and we're just about done. So far it's looking really beautiful, and I almost forgot this little fox here, so actually, I literally, as soon as I said that, I remember this little guy, so let's work on this little. And of course, we have our little trademark local contrast just to add to it. And overall, I think it came out really well. League of Legends skin for Kindred, Spirit Blossoms Kindred. I honestly think this one came out really nice. Overall, I think, yeah, I'm just really happy with how it turned out. We basically gave movement to Kindred. We gave her arms of movement, her bow. That was a hard part. We had her hair. We had Wolf moving in the background. That was fun too. We had some like facial expressions a little bit on Wolf. And yeah, adding the effects around them, I think it was really nice. I think we'll add one little touch to it as well before we end off the video. Yeah, okay. I'm actually happy with how it turned out. Overall, we did a fairly good job, I think. If you guys can think of any more details you think I should add, or you think could be added to bring this more to life, let me know in the comments, because you know me, I love constructive criticism. You guys help me out a lot in some of the videos, and I really look forward to hearing more about you guys. If you have any more suggestions for videos, let me know again, please, in the comments, because I really enjoy doing these, not only for myself but for you guys too. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy the final product. I'll see you all in the next video. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening, whatever time it is for you. See you next time.